Many have no idea just how much of a utopia the world could have been, even before now, if the brilliant minds of both the past and present were simply allowed to live. Too many have come up with life-changing, if not world-changing inventions only to disappear or pass away soon after. But what if? What if they were allowed to continue inventing? What if they were allowed to live?
We get sap on the track.
What if Tom Ogle didn't die? In the 1970s, Tom Ogle, a self-taught mechanic from El Paso, Texas, invented the Ogle carburetor, a device that allowed a car to travel over 100 miles on a single gallon of gasoline. His system replaced the traditional carburetor and fuel pump with a black box that vaporized fuel before it entered the engine, enabling more efficient combustion. Demonstrated in 1977 on a modified 1974 Galaxy, it promised significant fuel savings, reduced oil dependence, and lower emissions. Would that not have been good for so-called climate change? Ogle received patents and interest from investors, but after his death in 1981 at age 24, the technology faded into obscurity. What if the Ogle carburetor were allowed to come out or continue to be developed? In the 1930s, Royal Raymond Rife, an American inventor, developed the Rife machine, which could diagnose and cure cancer by targeting pathogens and cancer cells with specific electromagnetic frequencies. Alongside his universal microscope, capable of magnifications over 60,000 times, Rife reported curing cancer in lab animals in 16 human patients in 1934. Despite initial success, the medical establishment dismissed his claims, and after a lawsuit by the American Medical Association, his labs were ransacked and his work suppressed. Rife died in 1971. Imagine what medicine would be like today if the Rife machine continued to be researched and developed for 91 more years. What if Stanley Meyer didn't die? In the 1980s, Stanley Meyer, an Ohio inventor, created the water fuel cell, a device that could power a vehicle using water as fuel. By applying resonant frequencies to break water molecules into hydrogen and oxygen gases, Meyer demonstrated a dune buggy running on this technology. It promised an abundant, cheap, and environmentally friendly fuel source. Water, after his sudden death in 1998, officially ruled a cerebral aneurysm. The technology remained unverified and undeveloped. Today, after more than 40 years, these fuel cells would have been perfected. What if Thomas Townsend Brown didn't pass away? In the early 20th century, Thomas Townsend Brown explored electrogravitics and developed an anti-gravity device called the gravitator. Using high-voltage capacitors and electrodes, Brown demonstrated disc-shaped objects levitating and moving, suggesting a propulsion force that could revolutionize aerospace technology. Despite public demonstrations in the 1950s and 1960s and military interest, skeptics attributed the effect to whatever they could think of to put an end to a discovery that would move humanity too far ahead. What if Nikola Tesla didn't die? Nikola Tesla's Wardenclyffe Tower, built in the early 1900s in Shoreham, New York, aimed to transmit wireless energy globally, tapping into environmental sources like the sun and ether. Designed as the first broadcasting system for both signals and power, it promised free, unlimited energy. Financial backing from J.P. Morgan ceased when the focus shifted to free energy, and the tower was dismantled in 1917. Tesla died in poverty in 1943, his papers confiscated. Imagine getting power from the air. Power companies wouldn't be able to charge you for power then, so you see why he had to go.
Let's play a game. I'm about to give you a bunch of random situations, and you can tell me how many random coincidences the world is full of. So this is Ari to go. He patented technology on free energy. He was headed to the airport to go meet some investors, but he never made it to his flight because he was found dead in his car. That's random. This is Stefan Marinov. He is the leader of the European free energy movement. In 1997, he had a major breakthrough, and as they were working on their prototype, he was found dead. What? Yeah, apparently he fell out of a window. This is Dr. John Mullen. He is a nuclear physicist that worked for one of the largest military contractors in the world. Apparently, he discovered something really big in the realm of energy, but unfortunately, before he could come out with this information, he died from arsenic poisoning. But don't worry, his girlfriend was the primary suspect. She was actually found dead in her apartment as well. They didn't go after any other suspects. Case closed. This right here is Dmitry Petronov. He invented a plasma battery that powered his 2-story house for 14 months. One day he went to go get bread from a bakery and was never seen again. Zachary Warfield was also working on a plasma battery. He actually met with Dmitry a couple of times where they would exchange notes. He mysteriously died in a boating accident in Washington, D.C. Eugene Milov was an expert physicist in cold fusion. He claimed to have a working prototype of a free energy device, but the day before he was going to go public, he was beaten to death. That's so random. Rory Johnson invented a cold fusion motor that generated over 500 horsepower. The Department of Energy took a restraining order against his technology so he could never publicize it, and you're never going to guess what happened to him. Everyone who knew him said he was super healthy, had no health issues, but he died mysteriously. Mark Tomian was awarded a patent for a zero-point energy system. After he developed his working prototype, he was found mysteriously dead, and the crazy thing is his research is missing. What? Or you might recognize this one. This is Stan Thompson. He developed a car that ran off of water. After developing his working prototype, he went to go to lunch with 2 investors so that he could gain money to push this technology out there. He died during lunch. His last words were, "I've been poisoned." Nikola Tesla believed he could make free energy. And all of his research was funded by, guess who? J.P. Morgan. When he claimed to have figured it out and he wanted additional capital so that he could expand his inventions, J.P. Morgan shut him down. I'm sure it has nothing to do with the fact that J.P. Morgan owned General Electric, he owned copper mines, he owned rubber mills.
What if Wilhelm Reich didn't pass away? In the 1930s, Wilhelm Reich, an Austrian psychoanalyst, invented the orgone generator, a box-like device made of alternating organic and inorganic layers to collect and store orgone energy, which he reported could improve health and treat diseases like cancer. Reich also developed the cloud buster in the 1950s, a device to manipulate weather by directing orgone energy to disperse or form clouds. After FDA investigations and his imprisonment in 1956, his work was destroyed, and he died in 1957. No cleaning up the skies or frequency-based healing allowed. What if John Frost's invention wasn't cancelled? In the 1950s, British engineer John Frost led the Avrocar project at Avro Canada, designing a flying saucer-shaped V2L aircraft using the Coanda effect for lift and thrust. Intended for reconnaissance and combat, the Avrocar struggled with stability and overheating, leading to its cancellation in 1961 after military interest waned. What if Valerian Abakovsky didn't die? In 1921, 25-year-old Valerian Abakovsky, a Soviet inventor, created the AOW wagon, a propeller-driven railcar powered by an aircraft engine designed for high-speed rail travel. On its maiden voyage, it derailed at high speed, killing all aboard, including Abakovsky, halting the project. What if Harry Hoxsey wasn't subject to nefarious legal battles? In the 1920s, Harry Hoxsey, a self-taught healer, developed the Hoxsey tonic, an herbal remedy claimed to treat cancer. Using a blend of herbs like red clover and burdock, his clinics in the US and later Mexico attracted patients despite the predictable skepticism from the medical establishment. Legal battles with the AMA and FDA led to the closure of his US clinics by the 1950s. Hoxsey died in 1974. Yet another cure snuffed out. So many have created cures for many things, and each time, something stops them or snuffs out their very life. This is no longer coincidence. It's a pattern. What if Martin Fleischmann and Stanley Pons weren't dismissed? In 1989, chemists Martin Fleischmann and Stanley Pons announced cold fusion, achieving nuclear fusion at room temperature, using electrolysis of heavy water with a palladium electrode. They reported excess heat and nuclear byproducts, suggesting a cheap, clean energy source. Inconsistent replication and skepticism led to its dismissal, impacting their careers. Hardly a chance was given for this technology to truly be tested. In the 1980s, Russian entomologist Viktor Grebennikov discovered the cavity structural effect, observing anti-gravitational properties in insect chitin shells. He built a platform with thousands of shells, reporting it could travel at 1,500 kilometers per hour and make the rider invisible. His 1992 patent was denied, and his book schematics were removed before publication. A little too advanced for the cabal's liking, no doubt. In 1941, Henry Ford unveiled the hemp car, made from a hemp-based composite material stronger than steel and powered by hemp biofuel. Demonstrated for its durability, the project was abandoned due to petroleum industry dominance and hemp cultivation restrictions. Ford died in 1947. What if the hemp car were allowed to continue to be developed? In the 1920s, Henry Moray, an electrical engineer from Utah, developed the radiant energy device, claiming to convert cosmic energy into electricity using a special valve, semiconductors, and capacitors. Demonstrations powered lights and motors, but skepticism and alleged sabotage prevented its adoption. Moray died in 1974. What if the radiant energy device was finished and was supplying your home with electricity for free? No matter how much electricity you used, it would have no impact on the environment. Austrian inventor Victor Schauberger studied vortex dynamics and water flow, creating devices like the Repulsine, a saucer-shaped machine using wave-like patterns for propulsion. His work, explored during World War II by the Nazis and later confiscated by U.S. intelligence, suggested energy generation through natural processes. Schauberger isn't with us now, having died in 1958. That would have given us a newfound understanding of water and its properties. What happened to the device after confiscation?
Peace and blessings, all praises to the Most High. A 21-year-old inventor from Atlanta, Julian Brown, as you see him on the screen, has been missing since earlier this month. Julian Brown is the inventor of plastiline, which is gasoline made out of plastic. Now, his last post was a cryptic post, sort of like a warning saying that he didn't know what was going on. Please keep him in his prayers and screenshot the video. So he evidently felt like he was in danger, and now he has been missing. He hasn't been making posts.
What if he didn't die? What if he got to continue his invention? Except he didn't die. He's safe and is one of many saved by King Smarty.
If you've done proper research, you'll understand that everybody with frequency devices prior to me coming out were killed. William Wright, Wright Machine, all of these different types of people. If you do, yeah, all the inventors were, laboratories were stolen or taken or raided, right? Yep. Burnt down, people end up in jail, dead, blah, blah, blah. I don't have a laboratory because I don't need one. I am the fucking laboratory. And try to come kill me. You see how and why I'm now involved in everything?